So, welcome to the bonus episode because we felt bad we didn't have episodes out because spring break. Spoiler alert for next week's episode, it's a lot of Last of Us. 'Cause that's what's going on right now. All right, so one thing.
What you missed on the bonus episode is the utter hurdle it was to get this set up.
So here's
Margo
the
does not
thing.
understand brackets.
So
Margo does not understand how brackets work.
I think I'm
nor
really.
does she understand visual space.
Yeah.
I think I'm really good at drawing little lines, and I was like, "Oh, I made a bracket," and I think it looked. I already crumpled up the paper. I think it looked totally fine. But the problem was I didn't understand how to do one with 9. Because that's harder, and I am not a sports girl. Whenever I did brackets for March Madness, it was always Duke wins, and that's all I cared about. I didn't care at all about anything else because I'm a North Carolina girly. But yeah, it's
So,
we
quick
did
description of what this is going to be. We are ranking or bracket style tournament depending on what is the saddest episode of Last of Us, as
that's what they all have
head to head
common.
in competition.
Yeah.
So the bracket was initially
wrong.
Not great.
With teamwork, we fixed it, and that's what matters. It was really mostly Ryan.
I feel like I contributed.
You definitely
contributed a lot.
did. But Ryan drew it for me, which is what I needed because I'm a visual learner.
I was talking about spindles and
yeah, you were like, do a line above the thing with the other thing out of the thing, and I was like, huh? Don't get it.
Made sense in my head. Don't know how that didn't translate.
Believe
it
that.
made sense to me as well.
Well, I'm happy Ryan drew it for me.
Regardless, we're here.
We're here. We did it. What's sad? So, okay. I'll also post this on our Instagram once it's all filled out. But for our first little fight, episode 4 versus episode 8, which one's sadder? I think it's an obvious one.
It's an obvious win for episode 8.
Yeah.
Episode 4 has its moments. But
like
it's probably the least sad episode, I would say. Like Ellie does murder a guy.
Yeah.
Or actually, she doesn't even. She just shoots a guy.
Oh yeah, and then Joel has to finish
finishes him off.
Yeah, but she still like shoots him, and that's scary.
Yeah. But that's really
yeah. Like you have some people that are like imprisoned by a like group. I don't know. It's fine. It's not that sad.
No.
Yeah, I didn't cry at it.
In comparison to the, as previously stated,
as soon to be stated,
as will be stated in the episode that we are recording.
Spoiler alert for our episode.
Extremely horrifying episode 8.
Yeah, a real bummer. Yeah, on all fronts. Ellie's worried about Joel, Joel's worried about Ellie, and then creepy men. A bummer.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Episode 1 versus episode 9.
9.
I think that's fair. I do think this one's actually tougher.
It's harder than the last, but I mean, we've grown with these characters through 9 episodes. Hard to have such a tragic ending versus episode 1 of like, you see Sarah
dies,
but you've only seen her for like 15 minutes. So.
Yeah. But she's like the main character for those 15 minutes. So you're like, this person I cared about and was like watching this world through is gone. Episode 9, I will say, for a finale of everyone being like posting memes about like, oh, the people who thought episode 5 was sad, just you wait. Blah 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 blah. Like a lot of people telling me like you're gonna cry a lot and everything like that. I think it was really dark. Sad? I don't know.
I would say 9 is sadder than 5.
Well, okay. We'll see if we get there.
But I do think that's. I don't know. I don't know if I would.
I do think 9's sadder than 1, but
I 9 is sadder than 1. Yeah,
it's tough. All right. 3 versus 7. 3 is the gay men. 7 is the gay girls.
3.
Yeah.
I think especially. Better. Yeah, it's a better episode.
Mm-hmm.
I still like 7, but yeah, episode 3 is very
Nick
good.
Offerman.
I think, yeah. And I think as well, having it's all on screen. Like, you're just left with, oh no, Riley and Ellie are going to die. That's true. The end of episode 7. But you don't see it happen. Ellie just relays what happened later.
Mm-hmm.
But you get the whole complete story with Frank and Bill. So.
Yeah. And, like, you see all of their character development and everything, like, even in the note that Bill leaves for Joel. Yeah. Like, they care about each other, and it's really sweet. Anyway. Okay. 2 versus 6. 2, Tess dies. 6, I'm sure someone dies in it, but I don't think anyone would care about.
Stabbed.
Joel gets stabbed. Joel's having panic attacks.
And Joel's having panic attacks.
With 2.
I think 2 here.
Yeah. Because we care more about Tess at that point.
And we know Joel's not going to die from this.
Yeah. Okay. I need a little more help with brackets. Does this mean that 8 and 5 go to here, and then whatever is that against 3?
So 8 and 5 face off first, and then whoever wins that will face off against 3 for the semifinals.
8 and 5. A pretty obvious answer, in my opinion. What?
I'll be honest, I don't think 5 was that sad.
Wow.
5 is heartbreaking.
It's a little sad.
Oh. Like, it's painful.
I'll give 5. 5 can get my vote this round.
Okay.
I was gonna say 5 as well.
Yeah, I thought that would be like a queen's
I think
sweep.
8 is. I don't know if sad is the right word to describe 8.
It's scary. Like.
Because, like, the characters that you love and care about have survived, and you will see them again. Whereas Henry and Sam have just been brutally killed.
After some of the sweetest moments ever.
And that's it for them.
Yeah.
Whereas even if very horrifying stuff happens to Ellie, and Joel tortures people to save her, although then she saves herself, so it doesn't really matter. But I don't know if sad is the word to describe it.
Yeah, like, I think it's heartbreaking and, like, infuriating at times. Yes. Like, I got a lot of emotions out of that episode, but I don't think sad was
like anger,
big one. Yeah. Fear.
Fear. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we'll switch over to 9 versus 2 real quick.
9.
Yeah. Sorry, Tess.
Sad, but we only had 2 episodes after the whole show. So,
like, she seems nice enough, but we don't really care about anyone that much at that point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So then 5 versus 3.
A tough one.
Ooh, okay, my argument, right? Bill and Frank, it's like bittersweet too, because they have lived a long life together. Like, you saw so much love between them. Like, it was like, it's a time where they might naturally die anyway, even in, like, the real world, right?
But isn't that even sadder?
That's like, that's not as sad as
kids different types of sadness.
A kid being shot by his older brother, like, and then that older brother killing himself.
Episode 3 is like, they've seen a fulfilling life. It's sad that it's ending, but they've had a happy life together. So it's more of a happy sad of appreciating all that has come, and
like, you're glad they found each other
and ended it together and everything like that. Whereas 5 is devastating and abrupt, terrifying all at once. So it's more the, like, gut-wrenching sadness.
And they were like they had just gotten out of like a horrible situation, you know, like they were just starting their new life.
And everyone from that town was killed.
Yeah.
To get them out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they really brought it upon themselves, but
fair. Okay, so then now we're at the big ones.
The big one.
The finals.
5 versus 5.
9 to 5.
Oh, Dolly Parton.
Or 5'9", a country song.
I don't know that one.
It's a country song. It's a great song. It's like if an AI like had to write a country song, I think that's what it would put out. It's also really funny too because the dude wrote it about like his wife or girlfriend, and she's 5'8".
Ooh. 9's an easier rhyme, I will say. I can see why he lied.
In my country music playlist, I have 9 to 5 followed by 5'9".
That's wonderful. That makes me very happy. Yeah. Okay, Ryan, what is your argument for 9? I know you want 9, but what is your argument for that possibly being sadder?
It's more tragic. Like, episode 5 is sad for like a little bit, and it's like, oh well, I sort of knew this was gonna happen. The kid got bit. I was like, okay, well he's dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, rip. But like episode 9, it's more tragic because you're so close to finding the cure. Ellie's got like one way she wants to do it. Joel has one way he wants to do it, and then the Fireflies have their own ways. And so it's all these opposing forces meeting together. And so you know what Joel's already gonna do. Like once he's there.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't know the games, you know where he's at, his headspace, and you know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, like he's not gonna let her die.
It's just like it's also a longer scene, so it's sadness for longer. And I think it's also, like, a much more interesting moral question. Like, it takes the Attack on Titan question, like, that's what it's inspired by, of, like, would you sacrifice everyone else to save only the people you love?
Right.
And it's like, I don't know, it's a good question. If you were in that situation, probably go with the people you love. Like, who cares about everyone else?
Good old trolley problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel would get out and stab all of the people on the track and then get back in. But okay, what about you, Adam?
I think that's a very fair argument that and 5 is tragic on a very small scale.
Yeah.
Whereas 9 has consequences for the entire world, theoretically.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know. You kind of have started to sway me towards 9. I'll cede my time to you, Margaret, to sell me on a 5.
I think yes, 9 does have like possible worldwide things, right? But I think like the thing with 9 is it was never like Joel potentially having to kill Ellie, you know? Like the thing with 5 is that yes, it's only like a personal, small scale heartbreak, but it is such an intense one. Like to get to this point of victory, get to this point of like, oh, we're finally safe, we're finally free, we can finally live without hiding in the shadows. And then like the thing that Adam told me, I don't know if it's true, I like to believe it's true because it makes it even sadder, is that like Sam turned away from Ellie because like he is deaf, and so he wouldn't know when she like that she was there until like he saw her. And so like the fact that his last act was like to take care of a loved one and everything like that, that's sad. You're like, this kid's so young and he's doing something so brave. Like that's like he's handling this like, you know, the best he can. And then like obviously it's heartbreaking for Ellie because like she tried to save him with her blood. Sure, she doesn't know how it works or anything like that, right? But like she has this idea of, oh, maybe I am the cure, maybe I can do this, and so she tries it, and then like that doesn't work out, obviously. And so then like and then obviously like Henry having to kill his brother, and then like immediately facing that situation, and like at first like seemingly wanting to like blame Joel or like blame anyone else, but like he knows that like he is the one that pulled the trigger, like he's the one that did that. And yeah, just like taking his own life and everything. Like, yeah, I just think it's like so much more like direct sadness. Like, Joel murdered a bunch of people that we didn't know. And is that sad on like a human level? Absolutely. Of course it is. But we don't know their backstories. We don't know how heartbreaking it really was. And then like, I don't know, he just like lied to her, and it's like dark. It's like, man, they're broken now, and that does have like future consequences, absolutely. But I don't know, I think you see so much more of like the direct sadness with 5.
That's also very good. That like very personal, obvious, and you feel the effect sadness versus the kind of abstract what could have been sadness for 9.
So which is sadder to you? Like big or small, essentially.
God. This is so hard. Especially because I do not believe that the Fireflies would have been successful in making a cure.
Yeah. And it's also sad too, because like Joel knows what he's doing is wrong.
Oh yeah. But also, even if like they didn't, to argue for Ryan's side a little bit here, isn't that sadder if like her life was wasted too? Like if it actually didn't work out.
Yes, I was thinking
all this way for nothing.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's that.
But
they might have too. Like, yeah, if they went through with it and then she died and it was like also for nothing, like that would have been even worse too. I don't know.
I just feel like it cuts against the sadness of the episode because it makes me sympathize with Joel more of like, yeah, you didn't need to kill these people, but the Fireflies were wasting their opportunity.
Fair.
And so they shouldn't have killed Ellie. Because I don't think they could have made the cure. I know, word of God, the writer said they would have been successful, but you know what? Screw you. I think his name is Nathan Druckmann. I could be wrong on that.
Oh, got personal. This was a direct attack.
Put it in the game / show if you think they're going to be successful, because it doesn't seem like they would be.
Sure.
Especially in Last of Us 2, when you realize the doctor's not a doctor, he's like a vet, so does he even have the qualifications to do this? Probably not.
Not many
do they have any equipment that is going to work?
He has like a scalpel and like some like dentist mirrors. Like
salvaging from a university, not even like a research facility.
I feel like there's not that many people in med school during the apocalypse, so
yeah, probably not.
So I don't know. I want to say 5. Because I think the emotions I experienced more during the game was kind of frustration at being railroaded a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's definite sadness, but I think I had other things going on. And then for the show, I think you really do sympathize with Joel, and you're like, yeah, I completely understand why you're doing this. Maybe you should have done this in that way, but, you know, you're probably dissociating. You're trying to save your surrogate daughter. Well, I'll give you some leeway. And you have to kill Marlene because she's going to kill you afterwards, because we have this whole theme of revenge that's very continuous in The Last of Us world. So
absolutely. A bummer. Well, yeah, I will say, the like utilitarianism aspect of like what act is for the greater good kind of thing really comes into play in The Last of Us episode 9, and that's interesting. That's all I got on that. Thanks for
Neil Druckmann, not Nathan Druckmann.
Oh my god, you attacked his cousin.
Sorry, Nathan Druckmann, unrelated individual who did no wrong that I'm aware of.
Oh man.
And thank you, Neil, for giving me a very entertaining piece of media that generates lots of discussion.
But also Adam hates you.
But also I'm mad about a couple of brief things. More so about Last of Us 2, but we'll get there when the show comes out.
What were you going to say, Ryan?
Oh, nothing. I was just saying it was a very good show.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
HBO hitting bangers. Like, it's just constantly good things for me on HBO.
Frankly, which is
House of Dragon, La Casa del Dragon.
Didn't see it.
White Lotus, amazing.
Started it, actually.
Last of Us, very good.
Banger.
We're going into Succession time right now. Great.
Sure.
Followed by Barry, Bill Hader, peak TV.
Haven't even heard of it.
Banger after banger. I would very much recommend Barry. The episodes are only 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's more likely for me.
Hopefully they can keep that momentum going with their new leadership.
Oh, tea. All right, well, that's been our bonus episode. See you next week. I don't know how to end these.